You don't talk about it, but you feel it. That subtle, sickening pattern you can't explain. Just when things start going right, you pull away, you procrastinate, you pick a fight, you ruin it, then you beat yourself up again. And you whisper what you never say out loud. What is wrong with me? Here's the truth no one told you. You're not broken. You're just afraid of what it means to finally be free. The quiet destruction you never see coming. Self-sabotage doesn't always look dramatic. It's not always addiction or cheating or quitting your job in a blaze of glory. Most of the time, it's subtle. It's skipping the gym. It's ghosting the person who actually cares. It's watching another hour of content you'll forget tomorrow. And the worst part, it feels rational in the moment. It feels safe. But safety isn't the goal, not for your soul. The soul wants freedom, and freedom always comes with risk. So instead, you sabotage. You choose the pain you already know over the possibility of something real. The deep root, fear of worthiness. It's not laziness, it's not a lack of discipline. It's fear. You want success, love, purpose. But some part of you doesn't believe you deserve it. And even deeper than that, you're scared of who you might have to become to actually have it. Carl Jung called this the shadow self, the hidden part of us we exile and avoid. The fear, the anger, the doubt, the truth we bury. But what we bury doesn't die. It grows stronger in the dark, and eventually, it speaks. Sometimes in the form of shame, sometimes in the form of bad habits, sometimes in the form of a quiet, relentless pattern. Every time I get close, I ruin it. The story of a silent collapse. There was a man. He was smart, charismatic, talented. Every time opportunity knocked, he opened the door, only to slam it shut before anything good could walk in. He'd say he was just busy. He'd say it wasn't the right time. But the truth? He didn't know who he'd be without the struggle. Success threatened his identity, and the fear of becoming more terrified him more than staying small. So he stayed stuck. Until one day, the people around him stopped knocking, stopped inviting, stopped caring. And only then did he realize he wasn't protecting himself. He was slowly erasing himself. Philosophy, Nietzsche and the terror of becoming. Nietzsche wrote, "Man is something that shall be overcome." But he didn't mean conquered by others. He meant by ourselves. We are works in progress, in tension with what we were and what we're becoming. But here's the terrifying truth. Change demands the death of identity. Not physical death, but ego death. The surrender of who we think we are for who we might be. And most people, they'd rather suffer in the known than risk the unknown joy they secretly crave. The illusion of control. We think we're in control, but often the very things we do to stay safe are the same things that keep us miserable. Control is a mask for fear. Micromanaging your life so nothing surprises you? That's fear. Overplanning, overthinking, over-explaining? Fear. Saying, "I'm just being realistic." Fear dressed as wisdom. Machiavelli observed that people fear change, even beneficial change, because it threatens the security of the status quo. But what if your status quo is a prison? What if comfort is killing you? Self-sabotage, disguised as logic. You tell yourself, "I'm just not ready. I'll try again next year. It's not the right time." But look closer. That's not logic. That's fear speaking fluently. You've created mental prisons so convincing you can't even see the bars. And every time you hesitate, every time you avoid, you reinforce the idea that the future you dream of isn't really for you. But you forget something vital. Avoiding failure doesn't guarantee safety. It guarantees regret. The psychological twist, why we stay stuck. Psychologists call this cognitive dissonance. When your actions don't align with your beliefs, your brain creates a tension. To ease it, we rationalize. We say, "I didn't want it anyway. I'm not like those people. This is just how life is." And bit by bit, you shrink. Until you're living inside a story so small, you've forgotten what it felt like to dream. The hidden reward of sabotage. Here's the uncomfortable twist. You keep sabotaging yourself because in some way it works. It protects you from rejection, from uncertainty, from disappointment. There's always a payoff, even if it's just, I get to avoid feeling like I'm not enough. But the reward is always temporary, and the cost is long-term freedom. You get to choose which discomfort you live with, the short-term fear of trying, or the lifelong ache of what could have been. A personal reckoning, the mirror test. Tonight, when the world is quiet, look in the mirror. Really look. Ask yourself, what am I afraid will happen if I succeed? Who do I think I'll lose if I grow? What part of me believes I'm not worthy? Don't flinch. Don't turn away. Because in that reflection lies the beginning of your freedom. You can't fix what you won't face, and you can't become who you are by pretending to be who you're not. From shadow to light. The parts of you that sabotage your joy, they're not evil, they're scared. They were built in moments when you had to protect yourself. Moments when you were rejected, laughed at, ignored, abandoned. You created armor, and that armor helped you survive. But now, it's keeping you from living. Plato believed the soul longs to return to its true form, that life is a remembering, not a becoming. You already are everything you've been searching for. You just need to unlearn the lie that told you you weren't enough. The choice, stay safe or get free. This isn't a motivational speech. This is a warning and an invitation. You can keep sabotaging your joy, keep numbing, keep running. Or you can choose a different path, one where discomfort becomes growth, where fear becomes fuel, where failure is not proof you're broken, but a sign you're trying. Freedom doesn't come wrapped in confidence, it comes wrapped in vulnerability, and the courage to show up anyway. Final words, what you need to hear. You are not lazy, you are not unworthy, you are not too late, you are scared, and that's okay. But don't let fear have the final word, because the life you want, it's not waiting at the end of some perfect plan. It's hiding behind the very things you're afraid to face. So start. Messy, afraid, unsure. Start. Because every time you do, you weaken the grip of the lie that says, you're not enough. And every step you take toward truth, you become someone you were always meant to be. Not perfect, but whole. If you want to see more, click the subscribe button and like.